Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560 The Answer.
Cuando tiran, a veces los días jueves, a veces hay días ahora que tienen la gente la basura.
My children go out every day searching for food. They go to the garbage dump every day, especially on Thursdays when we have seen cars and trucks bringing the trash from other cities. Many times they just don't find anything, so they come back empty-handed, and we just sit here and pray to God that the next day we'll have something, and on that day we only drink water.
Dan and Amy, top of the morning. That's an offering from our friends at Food for the Poor, just bringing home the dire straits the people they serve are in Central and South America in particular, as we've discussed at great length. We're partnering with Food for the Poor again this holiday season. As you know, we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. And just a reminder, a little background on Food for the Poor before we get to our guests. We're focused on helping children in Latin America and the Caribbean survive, getting food and the potable water they need to survive. That's really where it's at. Food for the Poor has been doing this for 40 years. They have fed millions of people, provided more than $15 billion in aid in more than a dozen countries around the world, 5-star rated by Charity Navigator. 90% plus of every dollar raised goes directly to the intended beneficiaries. There's two ways to help. One way is a gift of any amount of money. And just to put it in perspective, how much good can be done for, frankly, in our context, how little money. $50 can feed a child for a year. 1 year for $50. For $200, you can feed 4 children for a year. That's the impact you can have. To make a gift of any amount, you call 844-862-4673 on this Giving Tuesday, 844-862-4673, or visit 560theanswer.com/foodforthepoor.
And if you own a business or if you make the marketing decisions for your company, this is the best deal in all of Chicago radio. Listen up, a one-time tax-deductible donation to Food for the Poor for $2,500. You'll feed 50 children for a year. Well, with that as a way of saying thank you, we'll give you 40 one-minute commercials that will air right here Monday through Friday. The list, it's growing. Gatto Industrial Platters. We've got MS Consulting Services, Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, Chris
Garrett.
Jacobs. I love Garrett. Chris Jacobs of Century 21 Circle, Immune Enhancement, the makers of Virogo, and Chicagoland Midwest Performance Cars, freedomchamber.net, the National Shrine of St. Francis Xavier Cabrini. The list goes on, but this will sell out, so do it today. Call Anjanette. She is our sales person extraordinaire, and she will help you out. And the number to call is 847-472-8951. I'll say it again, 847-472-8951, or simply visit 560theanswer.com/foodforthepoor.
You want to think about the kids you're helping. I mean, we've had some high-profile cases just in the last several days. That 2-year-old girl that came across the border with a note attached to her.
Yeah.
Was she from? Where was she from? El Salvador.
Yes, El Salvador.
And you saw a 10-year-old boy, I think, also from El Salvador. He was identified by Border Patrol, and he came up to them and he's crying because he doesn't know where his parents are. They just sent him over, and he doesn't know what to do. So these are the kids and the families that Food for the Poor is trying to help in their own countries. I mean, it's also sort of a border security, safety, saving lives by not sending kids unaccompanied across our border because they have the provisions they need to survive in their home countries too. I mean, so you think about it from a policy perspective as well.
Right. So if we give them food and money to them now, maybe they won't want to leave because they'll have help on the way. And Food for the Poor, they have served, Dan, 943 million meals. That's between 2019 and 2023. So, and I've been there. I've been to Haiti. I've seen the food center there. This is the real deal. I've seen firsthand. So when you're giving your money, that money is going to help feed starving children.
I suppose that's a higher, better use than giving my money to the sports book at the Hard Rock
Yes,
Casino. So
exactly.
I could probably, put that to higher, better use. Anitra Parmele is on-air fundraiser for Food for the Poor. She joins us now. Anitra, thanks for being with us again. Appreciate it.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. And today, because it's Giving Tuesday, the numbers that you guys were sharing are actually increased. So a one-time gift of $200 rather than rescuing 4 children is actually before midnight tonight going to rescue 6 children. Food for a year. 2 meals a day, and help a community get access to water. If you choose to be a business benefactor before midnight tonight, call Ann Jeanette. Your gift of $2,500 provides 75 children with food for a year. We heard the piece from Gloria, and I just keep thinking about the desperation that would cause a mother who loves her children to send them to the dump to forage for food. And yet, on Thursdays, she knows that that's when the surrounding trucks come in and they have the better chance of finding recyclables or even something rotten to eat because there is no alternative. But you, with your gift right now, can make the last Thursday, a mother like Gloria has to send her children to the dump.
And so one of the things that we've talked about in previous years, and it bears repeating, is these feeding centers you have set up. I mean, because you've been doing this for so long, because you have relationships on the ground, regardless of sort of the political turmoil in some of these countries, you have relationships that allow the resources to get there. You have the infrastructure that that provides the logistics to get the resources to the families and the kids.
That's why we can say something extraordinary like that, where normally $100 provides a child food for a year. I mean, that is some God-drenched math. And yet right now, today, it actually will provide 3 children food for a year. And if you've been to the grocery store lately, that is some extraordinary economy. And it's because of, as you mentioned, Dan, those factors, the logistics that often the government of Taiwan donates tons and tons of rice every year because they know the hunger of these families in Latin America. We have relationships with pastors, ministers, community leaders on the ground. And you mentioned feeding centers. I love that the solution is connected to the need. So it's not one size fits all. Sometimes it's these massive feeding centers like Amy, you saw in Haiti, where the families are lined up for, a significant distance, all with buckets gathering their food. Sometimes it's a pastor in one of those Datsuns that will not die going up a mountain with food bags in the back to distribute to families that are so isolated that they really thought everybody had forgotten them, including God. So you're exactly right. 40 years has taught us how to do this well. Food for the Poor is just a bridge between your generosity and the overwhelming need in terms of hunger and thirst for water that isn't going to make them sick.
Now, I know that you're in 17 countries. I was in Haiti. And there's been such civil unrest, and now they're not even flying planes, commercial aircraft into Port-au-Prince because of the shooting. What is going on at that center there?
Well, as you know, I mean, having met so many of our staff there, we actually maintain an office of hundreds of staff members. And I think of it almost like the French Resistance. I mean, they are going to extraordinary lengths to make sure that families who are on the edge of starvation get this food. They're wise. They're applying all of their wisdom, their social connections within the community to make sure that the food that your gift today releases is getting to those who need it most. So the stories that are coming out of Haiti are so challenging, and yet the staff are truly my heroes. I mean, it's like one of those war movies that you've seen where people are establishing a network and getting it done because the alternative is unthinkable.
And I mean, and just you know how it is. People only have so much, so many philanthropic dollars to donate, and there's a lot of competing interests. There's a lot of organizations that do good work across a variety of issues and in service of a variety of populations. Why should someone put Food for the Poor on their hit list this year as opposed to another charitable organization?
I love that somebody, when they gave their gift, you on the donation page, you can share why you gave. And the reasons have been everything from, I look at the faces of my grandchildren and know that they will never spend a day crying in hunger, all the way up to my business wants to stand behind making a difference. People are also saying, I love that my money is going to get to the people who need it most. We talk about 40 years of experience, community leaders, pastors that are volunteering their time in the field. You can have peace of mind knowing not only is your gift getting to those who need it most, but also that it is going to do the most good in terms of we purchase in bulk, we purchase locally, we are often shipping gifts. We're strategically getting them to the people who need it most. So I love what somebody said. It's not a either or in terms of who I'm supporting, but an and. If you think of children today who are begging God for a single meal, and the fact that a $33 gift is going to release a year's worth of food, 2 meals a day for a year, and help a community get access to water, all of a sudden you think, if you're like me and every dollar has a name, all of a sudden you think, I can see the impact of my gift today because of Giving Tuesday. Your gift is triple matched.
Now these meals, they are MAHA compliant, right?
I don't even
It's
know
the
what
basic.
MAHA is.
I know.
Make
America healthy again.
Oh,
RFK
it's
is not going to
healthy
have a problem with these, is he?
But
Right.
but when you see the people in line, because they walk for hours, Dan,
Right.
to get there, and they wait in line, and they're so patient. And the kids were so happy just to have, filling up their buckets with a rice. I remember filling up a bucket of rice and filling up a bucket of beans, and they were so appreciative. And then sometimes,
And they were like, "Ma'am, can I have some of that, or are you just going to hoard that all for yourself?"
and then there's a vaccination where they could see a doctor as well, because these people that are out in the villages, they have no medical care whatsoever.
it's a holistic approach. Obviously, it's you understand that when a child is literally on the precipice of starvation, that is the first order of business. And these Feed My Starving Children, who is the partner that's actually triple matching your gift today in terms of meals, they've put together something called a Manna Pack that, Amy, you probably saw in the field. It's soy and rice and nutrients and vegetables, and it is scientifically constructed in order to be palatable to these people that are on the edge of starvation, because you wouldn't want to give them a cheeseburger.
Right.
And so the impact of these meals, we see mothers fall to their knees and throw their arms up in the air. Imagine waking up there's a mother this morning who woke up begging God for a single meal for her child. And soon a community leader is going to knock on her door and tell her, oh yeah, here's a meal for today for your 3 children, and tomorrow and the next day, all the way through to Christmas of next year. Imagine what that tells them about gratitude as well as the heart of God towards them.
And tell us again today the dollars that and how many children they feed for a year.
There is a triple match until midnight tonight. So, for example, a lot of people are loving the $200 gift. That rescues 6 children, food for a year. The $2,500 business benefactor gift provides 75 children. I'm a visual person. I think of 3 classrooms of children are going to have food for a year if you choose to be a business benefactor right now. It's an extraordinary impact for your money. I love the people that are saying, I'm going to give it to my uncle who has everything. in his name, I'm going to rescue a child or 3 children or 10 children, whatever your capacity is. Make a difference in the life of a child right now. I think your holiday is going to be that much richer.
The business benefactor program, if you want to enroll, you heard the numbers there. You call Ann Jeanette. She's our general sales manager. Ann Jeanette at 847-472-8951. Again, for the business benefactor program, the contact is Ann Jeanette, and her phone number, 847-472-8951. And for the individual donation of any amount?
Yeah, call 844-862-4673. Again, that's 844-462-4673. I donate every year, and literally, just have a credit card ready, boom, you're done. It's so quick, and it will affect so many people for an entire year. And on this Giving Tuesday, it's going to go even further. Your gift of $50, your gift of $200 would go from 4 children to 6 children for 1 year, and provide water to that village for a year as well. Or you can also go online to 560theanswer.com/food for the poor.
Anitra Parmele, a fundraiser for Food for the Poor. Anitra, thanks for joining us as always. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Such a joy to have a front row seat to see miracles happen.
God bless you, and thank you so much. And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank, a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Scott Bartmus, co-founder of ESCO, a security and fire alarm services business and a customer of Signature Bank. We work hard to give our customers peace of mind, so it's nice to know that while we have our customers' backs, partners like Signature Bank have ours. When COVID hit, there was a lot of uncertainty for many businesses, particularly surrounding the PPP loan program, with parameters and deadlines changing constantly.